How are you? Welcome. Good evening from Las Vegas to all of you. How are we doing? Vanessa, hello. How are you? Welcome. Hi to you also. You missed cooking show early today, huh? Hello, TikTok. Hey, send some hearts, send some love, right? Send love back to you also. Yeah, how are we doing? Welcome to visit. I'm not cooking today because I want to spend evening time with good folk, like people on TikTok and YouTube. And welcome. I'm so happy to be here today. I done my cooking earlier. I make beautiful Vanessa, hello to you too. I made sweet melons dessert. It was delicious. I still have a whole bunch in the fridge. But today, I Eric, hello. And who do I have here? uh, Joni McDonald, welcome. Don't mind me. I'm using the spectacle here so I can see whose name these are. Okay. Yeah, hello to all of you. So, say hi to Diane West. Hello to you too. And who else is on here? A lot of people. Beverly Jackson. Hello, beautiful. User 4367. Whole bunch of other number. Welcome. Hello to you too. And Joni, I said hi already. And Lovey20, Levi jeans, Levi. Hello to you too. And John Doe. Ooh, John Doe. That name right there. I don't know. If I were you, I won't say nothing. Okay. Maybe John Love would be nice. John Doe. What do you work at the mortuary or somewhere? No offense, but it's a great name, but some name that I I thought. Uh, yeah. Recommendation. Levi, hello. You see, last night I was on here also. I have a few reactions and a few visit with me, and some of them, when I cook, right? People send me messages and saying that I don't interact while I'm cooking. It's true. I can't interact, while my hands are. Mm, uh, I need my hand to cook, right? And to do that, and I need my eye to focus on the fire, on the the cut board. I don't want to chop off my finger, but sometimes I do that. I'm able to like chop without looking at it, and then I realize that my finger is missing. Right? Just kidding. Anyway, I did that. I cut too many times. Yeah, to the point where my nails don't grow and my fingers it's not missing, but there's abrasion here. So you see that it's like it got cut over when I dice, I chop, I mince. So yes, John Doe, um, good to have you here. Okay, I would love to change that to John Love. John_Love. Yes, agree. Eric, hello to you too. Good to have you. So a lot of people were saying that I don't interact with my followers, my fans. So I set this different time where I can interact with all of you, because if you like interaction, so am I. I love to chat. I love to talk. I love to be mouthy. I don't like to talk bad about anybody. I don't like to do that. I have plenty of story to tell. So I have the sad story. I have love story. I have escapes, the Khmer story. I have story to tell about the killing fields. I have story to tell about the minefields in Cambodia. I have story to tell about what's going on between Cambodia and Thailand and the current event, what's going on there. I don't know much about Middle East, what's going on. I just know that a lot of rumors of wars going on. And my concerns are close to my heart and my home, which is my birthland, Cambodia, and my family also in Thailand. So I was telling that is a double sword, where like it hurt both ways. But like I said, I stand for justice. I stand for truth. I stand for fair. I stand for dignity. I stand for humanity. So if my brother is being a buller, if my brother is being a buller, I will not stand with that brother. Okay. If my brother repent and trying to do good, then I will stand with that brother. But I thought about sharing some insight about Cambodia. If you know what's going on in Cambodia and border in Thailand, stuff like that. So I heard a lot of news. I read a lot of content. I read a lot of posts and reposting and all that. Sometimes it really it hurt, because people don't understand, really don't understand, and people don't know much about Cambodia, about Thailand, because sushis. Let's make sushi next time, right? We'll do shrimp sushi. Okay, I can do California rolls. I can do caterpillar rolls. I can do regular rolls. I'm not what you call it, sashimi kind of person. I don't like all that raw food, because not all of you know that I'm a freaking about overcooking food. Make sure that the dead animals are being dead like the 5th time, because it's better that way, so you don't get sick and contract the parasites, what have you. Once in a while I have, or like last week when I went out with my daughters and they were at Oyster Bar, so they ordered like a big tray of oyster, and I had myself well, actually I had to share a bowl of clam chowders, and they served with nice, crunchy, delicious French sourdough. That was nice. Okay, and yeah, you cook sushis? Are you chef? Sushi is your style, huh? I know. Well, you know what? I'm not surprised that you say that. I'm not Mexican. um, what do I think about Trump? Sushis, sushis. You know, I'm not gonna hide. Okay, I did vote for Trump's. You know, I agree his what he had to offer from beginnings. You know, because I'm immigrant. Also, I've been here 45 years, and it took me what a very good 5-6 years to get my process to come to America. You know, I have to go through the asylum request and from the country of France and down to America because they denies us in France also. So what do I think about President Trump's? You talk about Trump, right? President Trump. Okay, so I don't agree on on the extensive of, you know, I don't like politics. I don't know much about politics. If I'm wrong, forgive me, okay? Because I'm just gonna answer the way I feel that I feel for, okay? So I voted for him. The rest of the Americans, because I'm an immigrant, I support the friendly immigration law and all deportation. The deportation, don't get me wrong, it did not just happen during Trump administrations, okay? It was more reinforced during Trump administrations. The deportation law existed many years ago. I remember when the three strikeout law, remember that when if the vigilance or any offenders who offend 3 criminals or serious criminal activities, they get deported. Okay, include my family in Thailand and Cambodia, some in Vietnam and Laos. I know family men who committed crimes over time get deported. It's not just now that Trump started deporting people back home. It started long before Trump, before his first administration, before Bush. Well, let me see, the 3 strikeout. I can't remember exactly the year. I think right after 2000. What year was the after the World Trade collide? After the World Trade. So what year is that? 2000 or 2019? Anyway, somewhere there. Okay, where the Homeland Security got so strict, but then the 3 strikeout happened way before that. I have to Google and that I can't remember what year with the 3 strikeout where President Trump already, not President Trump, where U.S. already start deporting people who had repeated criminal history. Okay, so I have a lot of Mexican friends that I work with while I was in Stockton. I work with a lot of undocumented family in Stockton, California. I don't speak Spanish, but I work with people who do speak Spanish, and we go into the community. We help them connected with all the thing that they need. A lot of those are migrant workers. They're not even bother anybody. You know, majority of them are good people. But majority of them also came here without proper documentation. They crossed the border illegally, so that make them become illegal. And I'm not going to go in detail because it does hurt a lot of people in the community, and because I am legally here, I feel that we should do it right. And U.S. policy and Mexico policy, I don't know how it works. It's just that you know, but as a human being, I have feelings, I have emotions, I have all that. You know, but I didn't support the violent rally, or I didn't support the violence. Okay, the rally was good. Okay, to show that we, as American, as immigrant, we have the right to protest. We have the right to rally. We have the right. We have that right in the land of America, whether you are for or not or against. You have that very same rights. I have the very same right. You all have the very same right. But then when even about abort and over the limitations and cause mayhem and chaos and distraction, destroying and vandalisms and the division is where I don't support. You know, I mean, My people get deported all the time. Even now, more of them are also scared. I know a lot of people who don't have the 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 legal right. They came here as a tour visa and overstay. Don't want to go home. When they overstay, they become illegals. They so that's all the immigration law that I know about. If you guys know more than I am, you're welcome to share. But for Trump, let me say about Trump, okay? Just recent incident with Thailand and Cambodia borders disagreement. And you know that it's a long history, go back to what, hundreds of years ago, where the map was drawn and it's not in favor, but it's belonging to the rightful owner, okay? So just like the state of Texas, the state of California, the state of Mexico used to belong to Mexico. But along the history where we lost that land to a more powerful country, or through purchasing, or through a war, through invasion, what have you, okay? So the history had changed. You see, I went to school in Thailand. I was in school in Thailand for 3 years by living in the camp. So I know a little bit about the history. But the history about the map, the zoning between the Thailand border, it never taught. So I never know that history taught. The history taught about the war against the Burmese, the war against the Laotian, the little war against the Cambodian, back in when? Back in hundreds of years ago, even more so, when the history recorded it. But I don't remember it being taught where, you know, certain land, territories, and sovereignty, I don't remember learning it, but now the kids are being taught. So the history has shifted and changed and modified to fit their narrative, to fit the need for them to reverse the history, to change the history. Just like anywhere else, people can go back and change the text in the books and taught to the younger generation. But I have to say this though, for the older generation of Thai professors and Thai historians, they say exactly that they don't agree with the force, the heavy artillery force against Cambodia. They understood the history that Cambodia don't owe anything to Thailand. In fact, Thailand's are the one that gained the benefit, gained the country, gained the territory, gained all whatever that was originally Cambodian. Cambodian had lost land to Vietnam. Cambodian had lost land to Thailand. It used to be a big a kingdom. Cambodian was a big kingdom at the time, you know. And I don't know much about the history, but I just know that my family, originally from Thailand, probably date back to where they were even Khmer people originally. So 100 years have gone and things have shifted and changed, and the bottleneck where we don't remember where exactly coming from, the history had hidden from us, and the old generation have died, and the record never been recorded correctly. Even if recorded, then, you know, people don't want to learn. They only stay with the same text. They don't read, they don't study, they don't read about and how history was, how history began. So what Trump did was that when he in fact, okay, so when Cambodian accused of being the attacker first, it wasn't that, it was the opposition that create the narrative propagandas. You know, they set up camera when they do the bombing, when the people was running and searching for a cover. But then also, see, when people lie, they forgot to cover their environment, where people capture the moment of the bystander, where the film crews was filming the activities like you're doing in a movie, you know. And then they post those kind of image in the social world where the narrative, the false narrative, the propagandas about what Cambodian attacked them, the civilian suffering, die, and the bombing, the hospital bombing, the children's school bombing, this gas station, what have all this, that has already been out in the open, where that's all narrative of faulty creations, where the film crews out there and make movie out of it. I even record that on, I save on my phone too, just anybody want to know, want to see the truth. So all of this, and then another time where they were filming, you see, when somebody lie, you know, God don't protect people who are dishonest. Karma is so real. Don't want to wait until next life where they said, oh yeah, karma gonna come next life. No, it does not. It's gonna come so quick that you can't even run. You can't even find your shoe to run with. So this particular narrative where the film crews, you know, a few of them with the cameras, and there's the actors and actresses and the children, the old ladies, you know, they're targeting old lady and the small children, rush into the trench, you know, the little cover with the holes, you know, when if there's a bomb, there's a drop, with attack, people will rush into the underground cover. I did that too back in the day, where I didn't grow up sooner to witness the Vietnam War, okay, but I witnessed something nasty too in 1963, where the war hasn't come out yet. So I still hear the bombing. The B-15 was bombing along the Ho Chi Minh Trail between the Cambodian border and Vietnam borders, where the Viet Cong are hiding between the borders. So American order the I don't know if it's flight jet it is. I think it was F-15, F-16 with the detonator dropping like thousands of bomb onto the borders and kill a lot of innocent Cambodian. So American didn't talk about that because it was a shame incident. If it's not written in the history, but the Cambodian people live to tell. The Vietnamese live to tell. A lot of smart people who live to tell and witness the event. In fact, there was some picture of captured the moment. Okay, so I'm not blaming Cambodia. I'm not blaming American for that, but things happen so nasty in the day. So no one talk about that. Same thing for the incident where in 1979, 1980, there was a large influx of Southeast Asian, especially, okay, so Thailand have to deal with the influx of refugees from Laos, okay, they crossed the Mekong over because the communists attacked them also, because Laos bordered with Vietnam, and at the time Vietnam eligible men did volunteer to join the guerrilla war, help the American FBI's or American force to fight against Vietnam. So I work with people who did join the force. There was a man, you know, he was disabled. He found me in a community. He needed help with connecting with social service. So I got to know him. He told me how he got injured and how he lost his eye because when he was assisting the U.S. force, armed force, fightings against Vietnam, and learn about the yellow rain. The yellow rain was recorded in the Hmong history. If you see the pandao, you see the needlework, the depict of yellow rain, where when the yellow rain dropped, it killed the forest, it killed the animals, it make people sick. A lot of people affected by the yellow rain agent, okay, they call yellow rain agent. If you don't believe me, you can Google, you'll find out, okay? I'm not bullshit this, because I'm a war survivor from Cambodia. I learned about the minefields. I learned about the killing field. I'm the survivor. I went to the refugee camp. Took me 5 years to come to US. So they go back to President Trump. So after the exchange fire and the airstrike by Thailand and the aggression, and Cambodian had no choice but to respond in gun exchange, gunfire, and for a couple of days. Finally, Cambodians said, hey, you know, why are we being attacked? Why we are not ready for war? You have seen men that no shoe, no combat shoe, no combat helmet. They just bunch of guerrilla fighter. You know, those are the old folk that went through Khmer Rouge, went to war. So as you know that in 1975 to 1979, It's almost 4 years length of time where Cambodian faced the massacre, the genocide, the ethnic cleansing, the civil war with the Khmer Rouge that was orchestrated by Pol Pot and his men. So then he abolished all the civilization. Okay, he defrauded the monk, meaning that just strip his saffron and make him farm worker, and he turned in all the city dweller into farmers, because they said that, well, the farmers are always been looking down at, and no respect for the city developer to receive the rice, to buy the crop from the farmers, but they never give farmers the respect that they deserve, right? Just like in any country, when you see farmers like being poor class of people. But it's not true though, you know, farmer in America, they're super rich. So there's no classification there. But in Cambodia or any part of the country where they view farmers like they like no class people, because they work with buffalo, because they do rice farming, because they do rice paddy, because they live on farm, because they live in the village in a small bamboo thatch house. They think that they're poor, they're desperate. That's not like that. So when the Khmer Rouge said, no, let's change the civilization, let's turn the century back to year zero, meaning that they're going to start the civilization all over. They're going to turn in like a civilization into a sub-civilization where civilization did not exist, but equality, where everybody wear the same kind of clothes, the black and the little that Kama, which is the next cover to identify who's in charge, and they wear the same color, black. Okay, black hair, the bob cutting for women, black shirt, black pants. Lucky if they have shoe. Most of the time the shoe are made out of tires. So let's go back to what I was saying, that the Khmer Rouge was cruel, killed over 2 million Cambodian unmarked remains. They built huge stupa, okay, in the heart of Phnom Penh, where they kept all the remains that they can find over the unknown grave. Okay, about 150 of those are my family too. My family graveyard, my family remain, we never discover. We left Thailand in 1974. So my mom was smart, so we left Cambodia in 1974. So we, just before the fall of Phnom Penh, when the Khmer Rouge marched down and forced everybody to leave their home and forced them into the work camp, and strip everybody's insignias, everybody existence, kill anybody who had signs of education, had signs of civil service, family of the military, the armed force, and at the time I'm not sure what happened to Cambodian armed force. Okay, I mean everybody just like gone. There's no existed. So I'm not sure what happened at the time. I think they weren't ready for anything like that. So literally, everybody marched down into desolation, where encampment set, and then they forced everybody to settle down and give up all they have. The money is no value, the gold no value, the diamonds, all that was in possession, material possessions. The civilizations, the religions are stripped, teachers are gone, the religions are no use for. It's going to be just simple agrarian societies where everybody going to work for the government, which the Anga is run by the Khmer Rouge, the killer, orchestrated by hundreds of thousands of men, and majority of their armed force are farmers. They recruited all the poor farmer, uneducated, the one that cannot read or write, and turn them to the military force. And they are so merciless. They already have that angers about about being put down, being a farmer, poor farmers. Now they had chance to get even with the city developer if there's a sign of them having education or wear a spectacle or speak French. At the time French was more of the Western cultural language that was engaging and from the French colonization for 100 years. So a lot of educator, a lot of dignitarian in Cambodia do speak French. Okay, and now French no longer exist in Cambodia, and they withdrew in the days where I remember they call it the coup, where after the late Prince Norodom Sihanouk came to power, he literally create coups and driven the French out, and then through Geneva Treaty, where French are now French allow Cambodia to be free and become self-governed and grant them the autonomies and no longer have anything to do with Cambodia. So after that, then a massive instruction with the Khmer Rouge, But I was wondering if French have not withdrew, maybe Cambodia didn't face this massive killings or massacre, because French, during the French colony, it was good, but then the Khmer did not trust the French that will lead the country to prosperity. Cambodian wanted to be their own, have their own leadership, have their own societies, have their own country. Same thing for Hong Kong. Hong Kong just gained their autonomy from Great Britain many years ago. Remember that massive rallies and a lot of destructions, a lot of rally going on at the time. So believe me, none of the countries want to be under anyone rules or colonizations. Just like in America, they are known of the 13 colonies, when the original developers who were here and they form into separate union state or state, and U.S. after U.S. Civil War, where some of those states were purchased from the French, some of the state was purchased from the original developers and gained independence, and the state become United States, where form into unions in under the umbrella of one big countries, just like Texas before and California beforehand and Mexico beforehand now become one big independent united land. That's why they call United States. So then a lot of people, United States mean that anybody can come here and be free. Yes, we did. A lot of people come here to be free. America probably the only country that had over 250 nationalities who came here to pursue the dream, to pursue the happiness, to pursue the asylum, to pursue the safety net, the heaven, the place to start a family, a place to start a business, a place to start new life. Same for me. I came here for the new heaven, for the safety, the securities, and the whole bit. And I received that for the past 45 years. So everybody say anything bad about America, I don't totally agree. Because, well, French, first of all, deny our access to the country because my dad was struck with communicable disease. America was the only country that allowed access. When my dad is Thai citizen, the rest of my siblings were born in Cambodia. So when my father brought me back to Thailand, so there's a crash. There was discriminatory. So my dad families in the region near the border and also in the mid-east of Thailand, in Korat. Those are my lineage from both sides of family. So when we first migrate to Thailand, we went to meet with a lot of family members. Some of them was quite wealthy, some of them were not, but we didn't get too much welcoming. I mean, because my dad did have some money from Cambodia, exchange it. We have some silver and gold that my dad had accumulated over the time. So all the year that we lived there in Thailand. We did spend some of that for food and for medical treatment, because I got sick a lot, and the camp was infested with disease and with uncleanliness. So it was intolerable. It's over congested, it's overcrowded, and there was no proper toiletries. So people lay feces on the ground everywhere you step on human feces, urines. And when it rained, it's worse, because then you had the mud mixed with the urine, mixed with the feces, and then you have to walk through it. People live on the top of it, and there's a hollow building. People just so the camp was infested with refugees that they keep bringing in, because the influx of refugees started 1973 up until 1996, where they finally said we closed the camp. And there are not just one refugee camp. There are a few major refugee camps. So not just Cambodian camp, though, Cambodian refugees. So there are refugees from Laos that I spoke about earlier. Those are the guerrilla, some of them that help American fight, the American agent fight the Viet Cong, the Vietnamese communists, along with the Minh, the Bong tribal people. Okay, at the time where General Powell was in power, and he was one of the great men at the time, and there was a certain thing that he did here in the U.S. that created controversial. Anyway, but he was a great military leader that worked alongside with the government force, with the U.S. government force. So then the great influx from Laos, also the boat people from Vietnam, because Vietnam have to escape. So there are refugees from North Vietnam escape because they're threatened by the South Vietnam, and also South Vietnam are threatened by North Vietnam. So everybody fled on boat, okay, because they can't come through Cambodia, because Cambodia had their own turmoils, had their own demise in the country. So they're not about to step over the landmines and cross the Cambodian border. Why Cambodian not Cambodian, Khmer Rouge, the Khmer Rouge is full force, okay? So so they came through boats, fishing boat. So that's why the Vietnamese refugees are known as the boat people. I believe that there are refugees camp in Hong Kong. I'm not sure if in Taiwan, but I'm definitely sure that it was in Hong Kong. So they escaped to Hong Kong to be free from the hands of the North and the South. So they cannot put the North and the South together, because they have the conflicts already as the brethren conflict between North and South Vietnam. So they have to separate the North and the South also. So the great influx of the three countries, we're talking about what, a few 100,000 of Cambodian refugees. You have a few 100,000 refugees from Laos, and you have hundreds of thousands refugees from Vietnam. And Thailand are not ready for more people. They're already dealing with Red Cross, United Nations. By the time they send the support, send the volunteer to build the camp, to provide the food, the medical care, because all those people need medical care. Especially in Cambodia, they've been starving for over 4 years, that the skin and bone and the hair is gone, the eye was sunken, their stomach was bloating and edema, because they didn't have salt or right kind of food for that many. They said that it was 3 years and 7 months and 20 days, something, okay? Let's say that's 4 years altogether, from 1975 to 1989. Okay, so that's a long time to not having proper diet. But they were forced to work one by one, all dead, and no burial, no mourning, no service, nothing. If you die, that's it, you know, unto the big hole. Everybody go to that big hole. There's no burial, big hole. It's just like one body, 100 body, 1,000 of body into the hole. When it's done, they lift and they make another hole. And when that hole is done, they dig another hole. So if you don't believe me, if you visit the campsite where all those human remain whole was like being put into it, okay, it was gruesome, it was ugly, it was hell. So if you have not watched the movie called Killing Fields, that was a good movie. I love that movie. I don't see so much of the movie that was done by Angelina Jolie, called First They Killed My Father, you know, because there's some political scene behind it, because it's not the whole truth. I don't see the whole truth about the family, okay? Because there's more to that, but it's not being told the truth. They just don't want to make it pretty. I understand that. No one wants to incriminate their own families. I understand that, okay? So the certain thing I didn't tell, the ugly side of that, of that story, only tell like what people, what they want people to see, to get the compassion, to get the feel of remorse, of the feel of emotion. But I know it's uglier than that. But overall, it was okay. I watched it one. I didn't totally agree with it, because it's just the opposite of the Killing Field. That was that movie came out, I think, back in probably 1980 or so. But the actors who portray as the main portray in that movie was killed a few years afterward, because he told too much. He knew too much, so somebody got unalive him, and they shot and killed him. So to go back to, how do I feel about President Trump? How do I think about President Trump? I think he did an awesome job as far as being the mediator, not immediate, mediator. So he's always like mending, though people don't see that as him doing the diplomatic relationship, trying to repair the bad relationship, trying to negotiate the ceasefire, the ongoing war in the Eastern or Middle Eastern, not to mention Russia and the other small country that engaging in the active war in the region. So the Cambodian is insignificant country. People don't know a whole lot about Cambodia. Only some tourists who've been to Cambodia visit the temple. Probably one of the biggest temple is the Angkor Wat. A lot of them had visit probably the Prasad. Privy here is not popular because it's in a deep jungle. Okay, so to get there you have to go through the minefield. Though a lot of mines have been removed, but deep in the jungle, it's not been removed. Cambodian doesn't have the capacity to do that. Though years ago, when Princess Diana created the mine removing project throughout the region, and Cambodia was the benefactors of that project, and trained Khmer soldiers, Khmer people, train animals. In fact, the little mouse, I've talked about that the other day, the little mice where they're trained to sniff the landmines and get it removed. Because before that, a lot of Cambodian people step on mines, landmines, and kills and lost their limbs. I mean, thousands of men who went to seek food, went to hunt, will step on the mine, the landmines that were planted by the Khmer Rouge era, because Khmer Rouge know that they have to have the control of the jungle, the path, the logo area, and the farm and the jungles, and anywhere they plant 100,000 of landmines. Okay, that was about controlling. They don't want anybody to escape, especially the one that they have in control, the people that they encampment will want the freedom. They will want to escape. So whoever escaped, they were trapped in landmines and step on landmines, and they'd be dead. So a lot of people that I know that work in the community did lost their limbs, and amputees and all that, but believe it or not, there are miracles everywhere. And those people who struck landmines a few times still alive, their hands are gone, the face are gone, the legs are gone and the limbs are gone, nose are gone, but they still survive and make it to safety. Okay, so the ugly stories about what happened to majority, some of the Cambodian refugees. Okay, so now I was telling you guys already that the that there's too many influx of refugees from 3 countries: Vietnam, the boat people, the Laos, and the Myanmar are the Mekong people. They have to cross the Mekong before the bridges was built. So there's no bridge between the 2 countries. In order to get across the Mekong River to Cambodia, to Thailand, or to Laos, you have to go on boat. If you swim, then you go ahead and swim. But Mekong rivers are not just a river; it's a huge, deep river, and it's a strong tide. Okay, so to get to Thailand, a lot of people have to swim through it, and 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 then they also face persecution from the communist government also, because Laos become communism after they overthrown the governments. And um, I apologize if I don't get the story right. Okay, I'm not going to go through Thailand politics because I don't know much about it. Okay, but let's say that it was under threatens and the life of the innocent Laos, and the American feel responsible for them also for got them involved with the guerrilla fighters. So American feel responsible for Laotian people. So when there's rumors of refugee across from Cambodia, Laos want to escape too. They need to leave the country because there's no peace neither, because they're being persecuted, being killed by their own government also. So they make escapes. So majority of them swim across Mekong River because they can't come on boat because they are not allowed to leave the country. Same thing. Okay, I don't know about minefield or landmine in Laos. I didn't have enough study, enough knowledge to share that with you. But for the facts that in Cambodia, it's a huge landmines. I mean, landmine was like, it's like every inch of, not inch, maybe every foot of the land. It's the landmine planted. Okay, in other words, if you were to walk in the jungle, you have to follow each of the paths. You know, if it's clear, then you walk on the same footprint. If you miss a footprint, everybody gonna die. That's what happened to a lot of refugees who attempt to make escape. If they have followed the same path, okay, and the first group of people had already killed, they see the remain, they see the blood, they see the human remain that are being left from the vulture and from even the tigers, even the lions, even the elephant step on those mines too. That's why there was not enough of animals anymore, because it can't be that many. Only birds and fowls in the air that don't land on landmine because they're up in the sky. But a lot of four-legged animals don't survive, because if they do survive, they be somewhere where there's no landmine, but they're being hunted and being poached all the time. So there's not enough animal left in the kingdoms. So to go back on the influx of refugees from the 3 nations, okay, the Vietnamese, the Laos, and the Cambodians, so tired, like, what are we going to do with these refugees? So they set up refugee camp. There's refugee camp from Cambodia. So there's more people from Cambodia. So they have a few camp. The camp that I was in is called Aranya Pratet camps in the province of Srakel, near Cambodia border. Not very far, maybe about, I'm not going to say kilometers because I can't imagine that far, but it would take about a couple hour ride to the border. It's a huge refugee camp, okay, but it's so because it's so overcrowded, they have to expand the land. And the first group of people who came, they had buildings. The building that probably belonged to the, I think it was used to be the air base or something like that. So they have structure that they have roofs and have wall, but people have to put partition, a division for each family. So there's no privacy at all. And for the new arrival, when I came in 1976 or 70, yeah, at the end of the 1976, because I didn't came straight to the camp. I was living near the family members, near the Thai families. So then we were summoned in the camp. So there's no enough building to shelter the many amount of refugees that came in. So then so the government provide a little bit of wood and the thatch, so they allow people to go out and collect wood and collect grass to make roof on their bamboo thatch little cottage. It was cute. My dad did that. So the men allowed to go out and collect wood and make their own cottage. I don't call cottage, what you call it. It's just a little cute bamboo thatch. Okay, it was cute for me. It was, you know, small, just one structure, one bedroom where 10-15 people sleep in the same, you know, just laying next to each other. It just for the survival, it just to stay alive. Okay, so some don't have the bamboo thatch. They have tent when they live under tent. So for that many years, and then there's more influx of refugee coming from the three countries. Okay, so the Vietnamese, the influx of them, the Laos, the great influx of them, and the Cambodian toward the end of 1979. This is where the horrific scene of refugees who came at a time where the starvation was at its worst period, where people just skin and bone, the skeleton. There's no hair, just only a few strands of hair, and it was just skin and bone, just like in a horror movie, you know, when this dead guy just rising from the grave, you know, with like that look, you know, that a few strand of hair, the hollow eye, the hollow face, you know, and the sunken eyes, and the skinny legs and arms. They can't even stand. And then this bulgy stomach, you know, I mean, because that was just lack of the nutrient for that many years, and they suffer from intestinal worms and stuff like that. So so it was horrible. So I made friends with a few of the new arrival, and in 1980 my family departed to America and left all that behind. And then when I left in so before I left, I didn't learn about any of these, okay, because we don't get to hear news, we don't get to hear any other things, because all we worried about is survival. Okay, how are we gonna live the next day? So I heard about the rumor where they said that they sent Cambodian people back to Cambodia. So that for those people who've been here long enough that are not accepted for the third world. So the propaganda the narrative was that if any Khmer people who've been in the camp longer than 5 years will get sent back to their home country. And because we've been there more than 5 years, my family was like nervous about it, right? But it was like a friendly reminder that if, okay, they used the word if, but I didn't know that because UN and the Red Cross and did not have the capacity to deal where they're gonna shelter all the refugees, especially from Cambodia, because too many of them come, like thousand of them cross the border each day. And Thai government said, "Oh no, we have enough refugees. We got from Laos, we from Cambodia, we got from Vietnam. We don't have any more camp for these refugees." So then they created a refugee camp in between the Saitu. I think Saitu, this is the camp where they have in Khmer border. It's not safe yet, so they need to cross from Saitu to Srakeo to Khao Aidang, which Khao Aidang is the largest. Okay, so the Laotians have their own camp, Pananakom camp and other camp, and then the Vietnamese. Some of the Vietnamese joined the Cambodian also. A lot of them was sheltered somewhere else separately, the north, the south. They don't put them together because they're hostile to each other. So I didn't know where all this going, but all I heard was that, well, you know, if you any family who've been here a long time didn't get accepted to United States, we'll send you back home. Okay, this is what I heard, but I never really pay attention to what it meant to send anybody back home. What home? There's no home. So the UNs and the Red Cross didn't. So the Thai government give UN and Red Cross day to figure out what they're going to do with the refugees that are not permitted and to send them to the refugee camp further in the land, because there are too many of them they can't handle. So they give world peace certain days, certain hours to bring those people into the camp where they need to be. And after that deadline met, so the peacekeeper, the UN cannot, the Red Cross cannot bring any more refugees. So Thai said, oh, let me take care of these refugees. Okay, we'll take good care of them. We'll put somewhere safe, right? So so what Thai government did was that with their military truck. I heard that they were buying also, and they were forced to go on the into the military truck, you know, where they move the militant and transport them to where they need to, the military base. So they force onto it, and they say, oh, no worry, we're gonna take you to the camp where it's safe. So everybody speculated, because at the time there was no peacekeeper worker, the UN worker were not there. Now it's just the Thai soldiers, the Thai government, Thai authorities that speak the language they don't understand, force them into the truck, military truck, and they don't know where they're going to be taken to. So it was reported that about 40,000 of Cambodian refugees were forced back onto the truck and travel hours across the borders and onto the path and onto the they call the Ghost Mountain, the mountain, the Ghost Mountain. The reason it's named the Ghost Mountain was because this is where the massive killings had taken place. So the truck went up on the cliff of Phnom Dong Rai, okay, Phnom Dong Rai, and then forced everybody off from the trucks. Though I have seen one video clip that was in Vietnamese, but then I don't know what Vietnamese were doing. I can't tell because I didn't understand that much. I could have saved the video, but I didn't. But then this is show where the loading truck was being unloaded. It's just like, you know, just like you unloading the soil, you know, you just like tilt the back of the truck and like everything just fall off. So there was a story being told about that in a documentaries of this family. Okay? But I have the tangible story too, because I work in a community. I work with people who were the survival victim of that genocide. It's called the second genocide, because the first genocide happened in Cambodia, orchestrated by the Khmer of the leader known Pol Pot, right? So he's not here anymore. He's dead. But the justice had not been done. So the second genocide, referring to the Ghost Mountain, where Thai government, Thai soldiers deliberately send them to the dead hole, so that everybody forced to climb off the cliffs. And there was a cliff, okay? It was not like, it was a steep cliff like that, you know. It's not like that where people can walk down and be free. They have to hold on some sort of rope, some sort of iron, you know. But it was not like that. And even anybody refused, they would shoot into the air. They were threatened. They were told to leave all their possessions. Okay? You don't need, the propaganda was that, oh, you don't need all of this where you go. Okay, you just leave all your precious belonging. The money was no value at the time, so Cambodians do keep a lot of gold with them. Excuse me. And So a lot of Cambodian wealthy families who have a lot of gems, a lot of precious metals, gold, silvers, and all that, they kept with them just in case they need to exchange for food and provision. So everybody have to give it up. They had this big bucket and then let people down the slope in a group. So they roll down, tumbling down, and one dead after another, women, children, elderly, only, and they were forced into the jungle that full of mines, landmines. Okay, so they cannot turn back because Thai government had the gun on your back. Okay, if you go forward, then the destiny would be that be stepping on the landmines and gonna be dead anywhere. So they have to go forward. To be or not to be, they went forward. So it recorded that 40,000 Cambodian, not many survived from that because the sick could remember now, okay? Almost 4 years of starvations, of war and traumas and the illnesses and the pestilence and the skin and bone. They don't have food, and they've been in the camp. They didn't have enough food neither, you know, I mean, and those are the sick, those are the ones that really need medical attention, the one that need to be cared for. Now that they're being forced down that cliff, they don't have energy to climb up or climb down or even and try to escape. So that's why 40,000, I don't know how many survived that went through the minefield and that be able to retreat back the trip, return back to Thailand where UN workers are waiting because UN questioned Thai government now what happened to the people in this refugee camp. Say, oh yeah, we put them somewhere safe. It's we want to know where somewhere safe. Oh, we send them back home. Where home? They don't have home. Oh yeah, we take them over here by the mountain. You know, they're safe. Okay, don't worry about them. They're going home. They're gonna go back to their house. The UN said, what? They just escaped from there. How are they gonna go home? Where home? To who homes? So then UN are worried, but then there's nothing they can do because the refugees already been removed. They ordered to remove them. Okay, so then a lot of men, not a lot of women, a lot of young men who determined. They said that some of them walked for 60 or sometimes 90 days, meaning about 3 months, to find a way back to the borders. Okay, by then UN workers are, oh, they're not coming anymore, but then they didn't give up hope. They're still waiting. The rescue vans still waiting. They're still in camping camp where others who the survivor of the genocide of that dropping, murder and merciless had did make it retreat back to the borders because they're determined to leave the country, to die where to die ahead. Okay, they don't want to die where they left to be dead. So they make the second attempt to escape, cross the border again where the UN worker waited for them and bring them to camp. But not too many, you know, not too many left anymore. It didn't say how many, but those who followed the path, the same path that the bombs already, the landmines already detonated, so they just follow the same footprints and make it retreat back to Thai borders where UNs and rescue workers are waiting for them. So I don't have the numbers of how many of those refugees have made back to Thailand, but there's a few that I know that I work with. Also, a few of my family members who were the survivors, and they're now living in Oregon. I should have worked with them and ask them about the experience because they told me about that. I didn't know, I didn't pay attention about that until now. I hear more story about it. So I said, oh, so when I hear that the Thai government do send Khmer people back home if they've been here too long, I didn't know that they're being forced people to dump them off at the cliff of Dong Rek, Phnom Dong Rek, you know. Now they call Ghost Mountain because people still hear the legends, hear that there's still crying of women, the cry of the children, the cry of the sufferings, at night. So that's why they call Ghost Mountain, because they still hear the sufferings, the dead that die without the claiming, the unknown tomb, the still bone and remainings of humans in the trails. There's a documentary that this family went and do all that tracing. The dad who survived the Phnom Dong Rats massacre survived and told the story. It was a beautiful story. Okay, I have to send you guys link. I have to go back, and it's called the Ghost Mountains. If you can Google it, it's a beautiful, sad story though. You know, I mean the whole thing. Like when I first watched it, I'm like I couldn't hold back my emotion. So, but I know that living in a camp was not the best thing, but great thing happened to me too, you know, because I speak Thai, and though the discrimination was really real in Thailand, where I remember when I walk along the street because I'm allowed to go to school, and they open door for children to receive education. The thing about Thailand is that they educate children. Okay, they put kid in school, so they allow the refugee children from the camp to go to school and come home at a certain time and leave the camp certain time. We had that camp card, so we wear the same uniform. So we did learn to read and write in Thai, so that constitute why I'm fluent in Thai, because I spent that many years learning. Like I said, I took some art and craft. I learned how to crochet. I learned how to make flowers. I know how to knit. I know how to cook, and some sketching and watercoloring. So all those things are implemented because some of them are there, and Thai people at the time they see that because it's funded by the World Relief, so they want to bring education. They want to bring some sort of relief, some sort of gift to the children, is to get them educated. I don't know how many children were educated, but I know a few friends that at the time we went to the same school. So I don't know if they remember, and I have lost in touch with all the friends that I met in the camp, because we left refugee camp in different times, and we never thought of keep in touch. We don't know where we're gonna be. I can't only say goodbye, hugs, and just hoping that fate will bring the friend together. I met a few friends on Facebook, but I don't think she remember me. I tried to contact her because she was a lot younger than I am, and I remember her. I saw her face, and I tried to contact her, but she has not yet responded. And other than that, a lot of my friends that I grew up in the camp, I had not met them yet. Okay, only some of my family members that we keep in touch, because all of us didn't come in one time. People would get picked if they pass the interview with the immigration officer who did all the family history and create the family profile and identifications and provide some kind of identity. It's called I-94. That's the legal traveling document with the family photo, with individual photo, which is a mugshot. I have it. I have to show it to you. It looks so ridiculously funny, but it's just like, you know, when you get arrested, you got a little name tag, you know, the mugshot, black and white mugshot on my face, like get me out of here. Anyway, I have it somewhere. I have to, but that's only photo. There's only photo of me in the camp and one more family photo of us leaving the camp. That's the only two pictures we have, is that mugshot and one family photo. I don't even know who took the family photo for us, but I have it in the album. Anyway, so yeah, it was ugly. How did I feel about the whole things? I didn't feel good at all, you know. I especially losing my family to the Khmer Rouge, and to the killings, to the genocide, to the ethnic cleansing, because And I tell you why my family is annihilated, killed the whole village full of my families, because we are Thai descent, because they know the village are Thai people, and not just the village and my family in. There was a lot of places like Slices Pond, um, along the Khmer and Thai borders. There's a whole bunch of Khmer people who migrated, just like the Latino people, the Mexican people, and the other nation who migrated into America. Same thing, we migrated to Cambodia because the land was fertile, it was bountiful, it was resourceful, and the land was beautiful, the land was large, we can do farming, we're free to live. There was no persecutions of Thai people until the Khmer rule taken over, like kill all of us. And my family, lucky, my immediate family, well, I was telling you guys earlier that we were in the farmhouse because farming season. That's how we were safe. And my mom got smart and said, hey, that didn't sound good. After we harvest this rice here, we have to cross over to Thailand. With my dad said, oh no, it's gonna get better, honey. Oh, it's gonna get better, okay? The bombing, the killing, all this will get better. I said, ma'am, no. My mom doesn't read or write in her languages, but she's a smart woman. She has photographic memory. She remembers everything. So she's a smart woman. Imagine my mom's educated. So I think I'm fortunate to inherit that DNA from. But both of my parents are smart. My dad was a scholar. He was a Buddhist monk for about 4 years. So he was educated. He knew the Sanskrit. He knew the ballet. So he was scholar, not high form, but in the monastery that considered high, because if men cannot afford to go to public school, and then they will confine themselves in a monastery and become monkhood, and this is where they get to receive their formal education, okay? And learn the Sanskrit, learn the ballet, which is the higher form of Khmer writings and Khmer texts. I don't know all those ballet, I don't know the Sanskrit, okay? I'm just very basic Cambodian writing, speaking. I don't know those sophisticated ballet or Sanskrit, okay? Those are like for people who confined in a monastery for years of study, year of research, year of discipline, in order to reach that kind of enlightenment, that kind of education attainment. Me, I'm basic Cambodian. I'm basic writing, basic speaking, be able to communicate effectively. So, but I'm a polyglot, meaning that I'm capable of read, write, and understand in 4 languages. Okay, so my profession is freelance interpreter. So I've been working in the community for 35 years in dealing with the community services, working with the community as liaison worker, as outreach worker, as advocates, So I did all that, then able for me to strengthen my languages. So I'm utilizing these languages daily. So this language is with me, it's ingrained in me. And so when I went to Cambodia, people ask, oh, you still speak Cambodian? How do you do that? So I have to tell them how I did that. So when I went to Thailand, my uncle, who was the Buddhist monk, who was a deacon in Buddhist monk positions, and he had formal Cambodian education, but because he migrated and he decided to go back to my grandparent land homes and become Thai citizen. So all that years he didn't communicate in Cambodian. 2 of them, 3 of them, that came directly from my family descent. So he didn't speak Cambodian. So when the Cambodian gained independence, he's able to find out where his family lived, our family lived. So then they started communicating. But when they meet, they can't understand each other because the Khmer family, only the older generation speak Thai, so they can dialogue. But the rest of the new generation, like the second and the first generation, the first and just second generation, my aunt and my cousin at my age, able to dialogue in the 2 languages, but the children, grandchildren, none. So when they visit each other, they just look each other and smile because they cannot communicate. So when I returned from America, I spoke those two languages. They look at me like, yeah, Vanna can speak Thai even 10,000 miles away. How do you do that? So a majority of Cambodian in my generation did not lose their language because we do enforce at home. And for me, I enforce every day because I have to work in the community. So, yeah. So that was sick and sad story. It did not, the story had never been told, okay, but there's a witness of people who had lived through, who had survived through. So it's not just a folklore story, okay? This is a devastating mishap, misfortunate, the catastrophic people who lost their life from the ill treatment, from the cruel and unkind treatment. Okay. It's because it's congested, because there's no camp. They should have just left those refugees in where they are at and don't have to send them home to die, don't have to kill them, don't have to create further conflicts, further karmas. They should have left them in the camp and allow the UN to take care of the situation, because bringing refugees to another country, it takes process. If they have disease, they have to be treated. You know how Americans, how Europeans are. They don't want anybody with disease to come over to their country. They have to be treated just like tuberculosis, like outbreak tuberculosis. Excuse me, please. Let me charge my iPad. For my dad who contracted tuberculosis, he have to be treated for 9 months. Okay, for good 9 months, until his lung is clear. All of us have to receive treatment because my dad was the was infected person, and we just we exposed to the infected person. So we have to get treated also. So by the time that we treated, clear, the lung is clear and it's no liquid and things like that. So it takes 6-8 months of treatments. So when my dad was clear with his tuberculosis and we allowed to begin the entry to United States, and that's the reason that my dad was denied gain entry in France, because we had first petition to go to France, but then they denied my dad all entries, all asylum, because my dad had communicable disease. So I think I share with you how camp life is like, right? It's close to hell. I never been to hell, but I don't want to go there. But I don't know if there is hell, but camp was like horrible. Okay, and the infestation, the sickness, the pestilence, the feces, and the overcrowd conditions, and the lack of food, the lack of nutritional value food and shelter and clothing, things like that. It was more than bearable, you know, for a kid at my age to have to go through it, you know. So I know that's why some of us say, man, my life is suck. You know, my problem is so big and I don't know what to do with, you know what, if you hear my story, it doesn't make your story any smaller, but just say that some of us went through a lot worse, okay? So how we survive it, it's by the mercy of God, okay? Because each one of us, like I said, I had so many times that to become unalive, but I'm still, my life was preserved and protected. And during the escape, I have to share with you another story about my escapes. That was more, that was going to be another story that I have to tell you about because it's not pretty. I didn't want to even have to go back and tell you guys about that because I'm living my life now. But when all this conflict going on between the two countries, it kind of resurfaced those memories. You know, it's just like it just can't help the feelings. You know, I mean, when the peace in the land gonna happen to these people. So, oh, I went through my belongings, so I found these pictures of. This is the uh, maybe one of the very first polar picture, okay, taking of me and my brother and sisters. It's not a very good picture, right? So we able to buy some old bike from the garage sale. You know, when we first came, my parents received some refugees benefit, some food voucher, because at the time my dad didn't have job yet, and they just want us to settle and settle down first, and and then train to work. Okay, so look at that picture. Me here, my brother, old brother, and then my baby sister and my other younger sister, my other brother here. Okay. Me back here, my baby sister, my second younger sister, and my older brother, and my two brothers here. So I'm the second younger. So I look at this picture, dang, how do I restore this? How do I make sense out of these image? So all of us had bicycle that we bought from the secondhand store or from the garage sale. So yeah. So I have my own bicycle too, but then mine, I don't know. High school was like a war zone for me too. I think I told you guys about that the other day. Um, I found my yearbook. Did back in 1984, the year that we graduated, and when I entered high school, I was already 17 years old. So I spent good 4 years in my of high school education. So I graduated very late, like after I turned 21, or 21 and a half. So I graduated with diploma, and I went to receive some college educations, and I accomplished it many years later. I did a big pause in education because I started having too many children, so I have 6 of them, and then I didn't get full support from the children of my father, so he left the country and deserted me and the kids, and it was abusive relationship. So I free from that. I fled with my kids, and then I worked to take care of the kids, and there was no any kind of support. I didn't receive the public support because I determined that I'm gonna work and take care of my kids. So it was a lot of hardships. I should have taken the 6 children and collect all kind of benefit and stay home and just grow nails, you know. But that wasn't the case. I took the most difficult channels to make sure that I took care of my kids. But I'm proud of them now, though. You know, my kids are most of them are doing really well. I'm proud of them. So the most proud thing that I have was toward my twin grandchildren. They're going to be 18 in a few months and graduate next year from high school. So they're going to be 18. My first set of twin here and here. So those are my firstborn, the twin, and her son. And this is before the new baby was born. So my firstborn, she has now 4 children. She had to set a twin. It was my first love. So now they're gonna be graduating. They went to their prom. They'll be 18 in December. So getting old. Yes. Getting smarter. Absolutely. More wiser. Absolutely. Getting better. Okay. They said that age is just a number. It's true, but I'm just happy being here, but I'm not happy what's going on around the countries, around the world, with wars and with contentions and all that. That I don't agree with. That bring horror to my memories. Okay, so anyway, so I'm supposed to finish this NuNu outfit here. Okay, so NuNu is Bubu. I gave her a name NuNu because my sweetheart thought that was so cute when I showed him that I make her all this cute outfit, right? So I got beanie. So I tried to make this into ears instead of horns, or the horns. So it was cute ears, and then with that fierce, scary eye look, so I cover with this shade here. Okay, so it's a green shade. That green shade is a good luck green for me because I love green. So we had olive greens, and then the baby green, no, some green, but it's the pasteurized green, I think, the hill green hill. So 2 shade. So same things that I made her the bell bottom. So now I'm gonna have to make her the platform shoes to fit with her platform, and the beanies, and the eyewear. I thought it was cute, right? And I was telling you guys earlier that I'm gonna do bracelet, green tone bracelet here to make it look cute. I mean, this is like, I cannot afford the gold, the 14 karat gold, the NuNu, the Bubu. So this is handcraft, the Bubu. Okay, so symbolically, I mean, it not may look exactly. I don't know where's my la Bubu is. I put her away. She's green. My granddaughter gave it to me. It's so cute. So I named her NuNu, because La Fufu is the fake one, La Bubu is the real one, and the golden one. So it's one that make out of gold, and people like showed him off, So I call her La NuNu. Sound like a girl, and yeah, and it is a girl. I have to specifically assign her the sex symbol. Okay, so she's gonna be La NuNu, and I'm creating the top right now. I'm gonna finish this tonight. The other night I stayed up until 4 in the morning. I was so exhausted I couldn't even get up to cook or do things, and I fall asleep while riding in the car, and somebody took a picture of me drooling. I'm still upset about that. He said, "Oh, that's so cute. How is so cute?" And like, that's not cute at all. I'm so adamant about that. He said, "It's so cute." No, it's not. It's not cute at all. Okay, so yeah, so I'm gonna put a sleeve here. I'm gonna do a few more rows here, so that way I have enough room to create a little sleeve here. Okay, and I will probably do a button here. Yeah, La Bubu, La NuNu. So she's La NuNu. So let me tell you about La NuNu. Okay, so she might be the only crocheting project of La Bubu. Okay, because I don't have pattern for this. I just create this out of my own curiosity. I know that if I want to make something, I can make it. Okay, but at the time I don't keep track of the of the pattern, because like cooking, I don't have recipe written down because it's all in here. That's how I learn from years of cooking, years of learning, years of observation, years of training in the cooking school. Not in America. I didn't go to school, culinary school in America, but I went to school while I was in the camp. So I learned to cook Thai food. And then a common sense, you know, if you have common sense, you have the master degree on that, PhD in honorary PhD. So I'm going to do a few more of this dark green here, okay, to cover this part so I can sew this together and create sleeve for it, right? Very basic. So I thought about how I'm going to do this without having to create extra pieces, attachment of arms and leg. But this one right here, I did the split here, okay, and I put the little flare on the down here, and the shoe will be a little bit of a challenge because I will have to attach to where it doesn't come off, okay. So this is my offer, okay. This right here is gonna go to someone lucky, okay. When I say someone lucky, I already talked about this a few times on TikTok, on YouTube also, is that I will pick a few names, okay. I already had a few things that I crochet. This one right here, it took me a little bit of time to do this because there's a little bit of this little feature here and then there, okay, because I don't have pattern for this, so it take me a little time to figure out how many counts, what pattern I need to create this little cutie thing here, you know, the big black eyes and the pupil, and see like the lights coming, shining through it, and then this spectacle here and the little ears here. I make it friendly. It had 2 shades of the color here, and how I coordinate this color to make it look real. And then the little fingers, you know, she had 4 finger only, okay, not 5 finger, 4 finger. Just remember, if you run into something with 4 finger, you better run. That's all I'm telling you. Okay, so because there's a propaganda and a little narrative about where she's originated. She's not from, she's not a character from a cartoon or animation movie, okay. She came from somewhere background where people said that from the underworld, you know. So yeah, people were scared of this, said that this come alive and haunt you. So that's why I wanted to override that spirit, where they said this is dark spirit, came from dark world. It bring dark spirit into the home. So now I make her in a way that it does not look like she's from the dark spirit, dark world. Okay, so I'm gonna put bracelet on her here in green, so it coordinate with all this. So she gonna go to someone who like La Bubu. Okay, so only one person only. Okay, the person that I would designate to, I will do a lot of name. I will go through all the people who've been on my show, the one that been supportive, the one that I seen the messages come to me. Though I don't respond to your comment, it doesn't mean that I didn't see it, okay. So I check. So I will pick one, at least 3 names from TikTok, 3 names from YouTube, with different thing, okay. I'm not gonna make the same product. I already have on the headbands, I already have the scarf. I'm gonna make a few more scarf because the winter is coming. Maybe more beanies, okay, beanie with flowers or with characters, I'm not sure. Okay, so these will go to the lucky what do you call it, the lucky recipients, okay. So it's not going to be scary from underworld. It's going to be cute, La NuNu, okay. Remember, her name is La NuNu, the NuNu, La NuNu. I don't know what that means, but it's not La Bubu, it's La NuNu, but she is the symbolic of the La Bubu. And we're going to have all this cute feature, you know, when she smiles with this green fastener here, bracelet, like, you know, that white teeth going to be full of it. I won't. Yeah, I already, yeah, the sushi is not here. I know, Mom. Thank you for coming on here. So I've been on here a little bit now, uh, talking to my followers because sometimes they demand attentions when I'm on here. Thank you for the heart. That I don't interact with them because I can't interact when I'm focusing on waiting to chop my finger off or get burned when I'm cooking. I do that all the time. Anyway, I get burned, I get cut all the time, and to avoid doing that, so I don't have the time to come on on the screen and and converse. If I have someone who on here as my mediators and yeah, hello, Mom. Thank you, Stone Paxton. Thank you. Uh, he's my mediators. Um, what you call it, Mom? Sorry. So so yeah, so like I said, will be one lucky recipient will get La NuNu. In fact, my sweetheart, he said that, oh, you making La NuNu? So I got that name inspired from him, La NuNu. So it's gonna be cute, La Bubu. And so the cover, the top is almost done. Okay, so I just create like a long streak of a product here. Okay, and I'm gonna sew the hand here, so make it easy, very easy process here, right? So attach to here. So I need a few more lines of crocheting. With all the plants, right, all the plants. So this is from Bong, okay, and then I had this for many years. This plant right here, it's related to cactus. It had beautiful blossom, but it's in the it's in the house. So I got her close to the windowsill, and she's so skinny, but this is not that skinny, but because the environment she's in, she's not doing well. So here are my windowsill plants. Okay, so I live with plants and the dogs. And my sweetheart. So there you go, my plants, my indoor plants. So I love sun, so I have my shade here. So I just pull it over like that, and but I like to feel the sun in the morning. So I try to wake up like 6 in the morning to catch like the early sun, so that I can receive some sunlight from the solar system, and also to allow my plant to receive it proper sunlight. Okay, direct sunlight. And when it get too hot, then well, what's a sundial? So it turn when it get too hot. It will bypass my window. So thank you for the heart, Mom. I love that. So I was just telling my audience about the horrific experience living in camps, and how a lot of Cambodian refugees was forced into the second killing fields, or the second genocide, and telling them the story about how they're being mistreated, how they got sent home to die, and to cast them down from the Dongrek Mountain, and that 40,000 people, only a few survived and found their way back to safety. So that was a little bit emotional for me. I'm sorry. So talking about all this experience that I don't feel good about, because it just like it never go away. You know what I mean? It's there. It just something that haunted you. I mean, it can suppress, it can manage, but it can be healed. But then once what you call it, once it's resurfacing, once someone bring it out, once I have to deal with again, that does resurfacing, that caused my emotion to mix up. But I went through it, I survived it, and I will survive it again, though it's hard for me not to think about, not to feel about, and it's ugly, and all the camp living experience. So next time I'm here, I'm going to talk to you about the escaping experience. It's not pretty neither, but I make the escape. That's why I'm here, right? If I didn't make escape, I'll be gone long time ago. But then to escape, it was challenge. It was a lot of bravery for my dad, my mom, who help us escape, who brought us to safety. So I owe a lot of love and respect to both of my parents. Though my dad is no longer here, but he's always the man that I spent 16 years of my life caring for him when he has illnesses that he was not able to take care of himself. So I gave up my job, I gave up everything to take care of him until it's time for him to return home. So I feel complacent that I was able to do that. Now I have my mom with me, and probably the same process. But my mom, she's still okay to mobilize around, but she's getting she get a little older, I put it that way, okay? And I'm just happy that she's here, and because she's under my care, I want to make sure that she's comfortable. Hi, Mom. Say hi to you. Second time. Great to have you on here. Anyway, so I was just on here talking, and the reason news from Cambodia is a bit of good news. So this reporter, the White House reporters had departure to Cambodia, and his name is, I have to Google his name, I forgot. Okay. But anyway, he had make it to Cambodian borders, so he's making accurate report on how Cambodians are being abused and being mistreated and unjust. So he got all the details, all the evidence of the bombings, all the things that Thai people impose and create all the false narrative and propagandas about Cambodian soldiers are dangerous, the civilian, the village, the poor village farmers are dangerous. So he found out all that, so he's gonna make these reports and present it to President Trump. But let's go back to President Trump. Somebody asked me about that too, how I feel about Trump, despite of some of the policy that I don't agree with. Okay, but each administration had their own way of administering the policy. So I may not say, oh, it's wonderful or wonderful. Some of the policies are actually very well done. Some of policy I don't agree with. So, but we have to. It is what it is. But with Trump's support in the ASEAN and bring the two countries together and sign the peace treaty, though Thailand deliberately violate and breach the peace treaty agreement by being the nuisance, still invading, still claiming, still bombing, still slingshotting. You know what slingshot? You know what slingshot is, right? The V shape with the rubber band, and you just aim, stretch, and release. They did that in the Roman Empire, or even the Renaissance time, where the slingshot is not like a baby slingshot, right? We had this huge slingshot and the cannonball of fire, that can stretch miles and fire your enemies oncoming attack, right? So no, it wasn't that kind of slingshot. It was like a baby slingshot like this, It's just enough to like mock on the bird, So that's what it's been doing, because the ceasefire said you cannot fire your weapon, you cannot invade the country, you cannot plant landmines. I said, well, he didn't say that we cannot attack with slingshot. Let's try slingshot, because both countries play with slingshot from From when? I have slingshot. I know how to make slingshot. All they do is just a V-shaped piece of wood or material, and then gather some rubber band, and then between it will be a piece of cloth where you can hold a little rock, and then you just aim and shot. So that's how we hunt for birds and having fun with a few things. It was not friendly at the time. Now I know about it. It's karma. Okay, so slingshot. I'm like, now we go back from sophisticated warfare into like a baby-ish kind of warfare. So I don't understand that concept. But anyway, so this new reporters, I can't remember his name. I was listening to his report earlier. But anyway, so it's on TikToks and on Facebook, and I'm not sure it's on his report on. But he's one of the White House reporter that had an assignments and bombarded toward Cambodian borders to do the accurate reports because there's so many new media outlets that talk about a Thai narrative and propagandas, and they believe it's to be true, and so they take one side of stories and never really talk about the Cambodian stories. And because Cambodian do not prefabricated stories, they've been telling the world that we want peace, we don't want war, we want peace, we don't want war, but no one listened to them. Thousand of them gather together in peaceful rally and ask the world to stand with Cambodia to help bring the news, bring the unfortunate event going on, and how they're being treated, and how they're being bombed, how people are being displaced from their home. So the world don't really know that. In fact, like I said, the world don't know where Cambodia is. Cambodia is just like one of the last land borders in this Mediterranean Sea, Pacific Ocean, somewhere there. So a lot of people don't know unless some of them visited Angkor Wat, and now it just like the current news, like the hot news that circulated. But the unfortunate thing that occurred to some of those content creators, if they say anything, if they disagree with Thailand news or with Thailand narrative or Thailand contents, then their account getting blocked. They have IT techs that can go in and report and block those content creators, the one that go against their narrative, and so the false narrative. So then we have to file a claim. If TikTok or Facebook or YouTube found that it's legit, then they will grant your, and then they will open your case or your content or your account back. So they did that to all kind of people. They complain about that, and we can't disagree with them. You have to agree with whatever they want you to hear, or whatever the news propaganda, whatever they want you to hear, they want you to agree with it. If you don't agree with it, they even call me dog name too. When there was a content about the Khmer soldiers who received the treatment on the hammock on the top of the mountain, because those are the guerrilla fighters. They are the veteran. They don't want to leave the fighting ground to get treatment, so they decided to get treatment there. If there's insertion, if there's more attack, they want to be ready. Even they don't feel well, even they exhausted, when they dehydrated, when they receive injuries, it's not severe enough for them to be hospitalized. They'd rather be there to prepare to fight, to protect their sovereignty, for their safety, for their country and their land and their people. So they were making fun. You know, oh yeah, some guy was saying, oh yeah, even my dog in Thailand receive better medical care than your army. Wow, your government really suck about taking care of your poor people. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. And there's like a mocking, it's not like a sincere sorry, a sincere emotion. It was like mocking, like even my dog received medical care at the hospital, but you are Khmer soldiers, You're being treated worse than my dog. Ha ha ha. And some said, oh yeah, that IV look like a urn. And is that my urn, or you urn and put into your IV injection? You know, I mean, on and on and on. It was like antagonizing. It was like mocking, making fun, being sarcastic. There's no empathy, there's no sympathy, there's no humanitarian. It was nothing. So I went through some of the comments, and you know that I read the language, right? They're written in Thailand. I mean, in Thai languages. You know that I read Thai, so I respond. First, I respond in a manner. I don't call them donkey name, but then they attack me right away. They call me all kind of donkey name. I still made the third back and forth, maintain my professionalism. They quit. Okay, they just ha ha ha. They just went on and antagonizing, the most unsincere, the most mocking, is most insolent behavior, the belligerent behavior, the name it. It was vexing, it was hoaxing, it was rude, it was like it got to be their narrative. It got to be the false accusation that they do, that they believe in, and that's what has been circulated around the world. People don't know the truth. Once people know the truth, start speaking the truth, they shut them down. They have cyber tech that go around and shut them down. People who, even American content, come out and said they shut shutting their account down 3 times. They have to go fighting with the YouTube, with TikTok, with other social media, whatever platform they're on, to get their account back. They were that smart. They shut down all the country that they don't want the news to go through, the media cast to be heard. So they only, like, if you're from Cambodia, that's all you hear is in Cambodia. Thai don't hear, American don't hear, anybody can't hear, because they control the medias. Okay, so it's cyber war. It's not just invasion and striking and bombing, all that. No, it was cyber war. But my team, they have cyber team too. They're pretty smart. Just like I said, just another day, Thai people, this Thai professor, a Thai content was saying that Cambodian was the 3rd smartest people in the world, almost as smart as German. You know, German, they had all kind of engineer. So Japan, we are the 3rd in the world. So meaning that, yes, we are not stupid people. We are lowly, we are humble, we look poor, we look broken, we look old, don't look well fed, don't look well clothed, we don't look well uniform, but they are fighters. They are brave men and women who are willing to fight, even in the sickness, even in the injury. They're not going to leave to go get treatment, to waste their time for someone to come in and strike them. They be ready. So that's what they don't understand. They say, oh yeah, Khmer people are poor. We are poor. We've been telling the whole world that we just got over the Khmer Rouge genocide. That's like 4 or 5 years of their life, and it take them how many years? 35 years since 1975 now? How many years is that? Okay. How long does it take someone to recuperate from such a big loss, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially? Just like a homeless person, how long does it take a person to get on their feet with a job, with the medical treatment, mental health treatment, drug treatment? The Cambodians are not facing any chemical dependency. It's just economical loss, the land loss, the life loss, the grief, the mourn, the loss of the dead one that never gotten properly mourned. Have to rebuild their life, have to rebuild their home, have to find a place to live. Like my father's land all taking, my farm all taking, and we cannot go home to what? We don't have anything to go back to. And my aunt who did not leave the land, she claimed the land, so the family go back to the farm that they own, and to the home that they own, because they all left their house to go live in the work camp. So when everything calmed down, they left the work camp and returned home to claim their land and a home and rebuild. They have to rebuild, have to repopulate, create family. But other than that, we are not war-seeking people. We don't want Thailand. Thailand, part of Thailand is Cambodia. All that monasteries made by the hands of the Khmer deities. Some of those artifacts that was taken to put in there at the museum, those belong to Khmer people. The professor said that we keep it for you, we'll return it to you when you're ready to receive them back, because they're haunting them. Because the spirit of those artifacts is haunting them. They want to go home, the place where they belong, the place where they're taken from. Okay. So there's so many stories about that. Okay. So I'm not just saying it because you hear it. Okay, I know about it because I'm Khmer. I may not know the whole lineage of history, but I know a little bit. Know enough for me to not be fooled by fooler. So that's what I'm doing today, is that I want to interact and finish my ladudu. No, not ladudu, NuNu. So I'm making the top. So everything's in green because green is my favorite color. Not all green is my favorite colors. Okay, let's go. Let's stop. Oh yeah, thank you, Susie. Yeah. So so I'm gonna finish this tonight. Okay. The other night I spent too long making the beanie and trying to design this. So that's kind of, I have to go back and forth too. This is easy here. There was no trick on this, and this is easy also. And the beanie wasn't the hard, but the hard was the difficult was the making the eyebrow here and the eyes, okay, and the horn. I'll say ears, okay. I mean, there's no ear here, so it must be ear here. But then don't get an idea this is horn. If you think this is an idea, you put that in your head. Quit that, okay? Because everything have ears, even something from the other world have ears, okay? I don't know what your beliefs are, but believe me, everything have ears, even worms. I know for sure. So there's a little bit of work here. It was a lot of work, right? Because to coordinate this shade and add this shade and then add the same shade here. So to make it look like donut here, it was a little challenge, and I have two of each. Two ears, two eye, one nose, one mouth, and I'm gonna put green bracelet on here to like give it like a really cute look. It's smiling, okay. It's no fang, it's regular teeth. It's 10 of them, not 9. I don't know what number 9 is, but I think I have 10 teeth. It's not a fang. No, there's no need to do all that stuff, okay. So then, just remember she had 4 fingers. If you said, Vanya, you miss a finger. No, the Bubu had 4 fingers and 3 toes only. So, yeah, so if anything visit you with 3 toes and 4 fingers, you better run and pray, because you might run into NuNu. NuNu might come into your dream. So I don't know whichever one comes first. See, she only got 4 fingers. It's no middle finger, so like I said, she cannot do bad fingers. So she can do ring finger, like screw you, or pointing finger, like watch out, I'm coming out tonight. That's a pointy finger. So there's a baby finger, like cool, friend. And then there's a thumb, like the click like Chef Lana channel. You gotta click like, send heart. I get no heart from. What's wrong with people on TikTok? Where's the heart? I have not even seen one heart. Wow. I remember today. Okay, so no middle finger, the thumb, the pointer, the ring finger, and the baby finger. So there's no middle finger, so nothing bad about this thing then. Well, the teeth are beautiful. It's no cavities. It's nice and clean, yeah? Okay. So bright eyes, that reflector from the light, that little white right there with this shade. So cool. Look at that. I know this is not Louis Vuitton, but this is like homemade, okay? I should put Louis Vuitton here, so make like more expensive brand. This don't go there. Okay, so I just add more. I'm gonna add a few more lines to create the sleeve, and then I'll be done, and then I'll work on platform, and then I will send you the image of the finished product. I've been telling you that I'm finishing and I finished, and I did not, because I lied, because I have to redo a few times. Okay, so the only 3 toes. If somebody kick you tonight with 3 toes, you know where it came from. Okay, from the NuNu. And then hug you and had only 4 finger. You better go on your knees and pray for protection. So 3 toes, 4 fingers, a beautiful black eye with shiny teeth, 2 ears coming tonight to get you. Yeah, La NuNu. My sweetheart thought it was a cute name. La NuNu. So, oh, you make it La NuNu. Okay, I'll give her La NuNu. So that's her name. Okay, La NuNu. And they have different name too, you know, in their boxes. They have different name, different color too. I like the pink one, so and the green one was cute, the baby green, and the pink and the purple one too. And then I would love to have the gold one, you know, like 99 K gold, you know, like this much, probably worth of millions. But then, well, until then, right, $1 million coming. And when this top is done, I'll work on the platform. I think I'll do a platform because she's wearing the oh, my sweetheart there. I'll do the bell bottom. So the bell bottom. So I'll to depict like 17 19 1970 kind-ish of model or mode or clothing style. Okay, so we'll do high platform with the flare bottom here. Okay, I could have done it here and flared out, but then I didn't think about that until I'm done with this, and I don't want to keep undoing it. So yeah, so there's a bell there at the bottom, so we have bell bottom, problem solved, easy solution. All right, so La NuNu gonna be going home with someone who love La Bubu, and let me know if you like La Bubu. And I only make one. It's only gonna be one lucky person and 2 more lucky person that will receive something else from me for Christmas. Okay, so like I said, do your duties, let me know, follow me on my YouTube, send me your comment on YouTube, not live YouTube, because when I'm off live, then I cannot retrieve the comment. So you have to do on the actual the real time. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you be. I'm gonna finish up the La NuNu outfit. If I don't get the shoe done today, I'll do it tomorrow, and I will have her complete outfit. And I promise you, I'm gonna get this done because I've been postponing it too long. I'm supposed to get this done in a day or 2. Like this, if I spend a whole day, I couldn't get it done in 1 day. But you know, I didn't have that much of time to spend on her all day because I have to do cooking, a few other things in life and working and all that. So finish a NuNu was like La NuNu was not my priority. Okay, but Christmas is coming, so if I don't finish now, I can't not wait until the next Christmas. That'll be too old. So the NuNu will be a year old, and you never know what's gonna happen to her, right? So I had high pants. I can fold this also, so it's easy fix. Okay, there's no belly button. It could have, but why go there? Now let's cover it up with this pant here. Yeah, it's pretty cute. I like the green color because my favorite colors, and to give it a soft, tender look and a caring look. So that's why I use I use green. I can use white, you know, but why white? It's gonna get dirty and stain quick. So if I do this green here, would bring the lucky the lucky color to her, and whoever have her will feel the warmth and the love and the labor hands that it was made from caring hands and loving hands, and There you go. Yeah, there'll be like Steve Urkel with, well, Steve Urkel, he has tight pants. He didn't have bell bottom. Okay, but I remember that his pant was like really high with a suspender. Hello. He had the accent. I can do his accent, my sweetheart. He can imitate like 500 accents. So so unique, so talented. But anyway, so I'll leave you be. Thank you for hearing my stories. I appreciate all that, and thank you, Bong, for sending the heart. I mean, I'm sitting here for hours and I didn't get no heart, and that was messed up. I don't know where people go. You should have sent me some heart. Anyway, it's later in the hour. I felt good today. I slept well last night because the night before I didn't sleep good at all. Thank you for the heart, Bong. I didn't sleep good and I was half asleep and I fall asleep in the car like power nap and my photo was taken. It's like, oh, so cute. I wasn't cute. If I drew, it would be worse. And I know who did that. I'm gonna take it back. I know when he fall asleep too. So this time I will post it on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on my YouTube channel, with the drool coming down, like, oh, honey, so cute. That's what you did to me too. That cute, that. And when you sleep, your muscle relax, and then your mouth open, and then the the noise coming out of your system is not even funny. Sound like pigs and struggle for breathing. So I have them too, but I haven't showed it to him. But no, it's not a blackmailing thing. It's just like a loving thing because you said, "Oh, that's so cute." Oh, no, me too. That's so cute too. Oh, yeah, we're gonna exchange that. Okay, so no, it wasn't that bad. Okay, I mean, he told me it was cute, so all right, I'll take that. I'll take that. If it's cute, then it's cute. Okay. Thank you for the heart. I've been here all day and no one sent me heart. I'm going to stay here for another 5 hours to get 5,000 hearts. I don't care if you fall asleep or you need to go shopping, you need to go to the bathroom. I don't care until you send me some heart. I'm not leaving until I get 5,000 heart at the moment. And I'm going to stop talking because I don't want to deplete my oxygen, which I did already, talking about all those sad stories which I went through. Okay, so I'm okay now. I'm cool. I survived through all that. What do you call it? Horrific experience. That even the psychologist was saying that if people survive certain traumatic experience in their life, and that they can, when they overcome those things, they survive it, they become stronger. Either become stronger. Oh yeah, there we go. The heart is pumping, the heart is moving, the heart is coming. If I get 100 of people send me the heart, I would get 5,000 quick. But because only one person sending, I'll give him an hour. Pump it up. Because I did the same thing for you too. I'll be on your channel and like like robot hand, like I send you thousands of hearts also. Like do unto me like you do unto you. Well, I'll do unto you and you do unto me. Is like reciprocity. You share the heart, the love, and support each other's channel. That's what I'm talking about. Support my channel and I will return to you the same magnitude, probably more. And just because I don't respond to your comment, it doesn't mean that I'm not being friendly, I'm not being receptive and things like that, because TikTok had thousands in what you call it, in comments, and I don't have time to go through each one, but I will see who send me the most comment by the numbers, so that would be the lucky people that I would consider be one of the a few of the name that I will select to receive your handy gift here, and you just need to send me your shipping cost, and this will be yours. Okay, I don't want to have to give you free gift and send you with my and and have the mailing cost or shipping cost. Okay, so because shipping costs can be expensive, it depends on where I'm sending it to. If I send it over to Africa or to Europe or to Japan or Cambodia, that's extra for overseas mailings, overseas packaging. So I'm not about to do all that fancy stuff. I already do this hard work already, so the least thing you can do is to do that. But don't worry now, okay? Just be prepared. What I'm telling you that you need to do to receive this free gift is that you be able to pay for the shipping costs, okay? And I'm already doing all this hard work already for free. I have sleepless night trying to get this done. I did the bow, I did the beanie, I did the scarf already. So I got this NuNu here. So I'm trying to finish her today. If not tonight, then it's tomorrow. I'm gonna definitely get her done and box her up. So when it's ready to go home to somebody who appreciate NuNu or Bubu, then it'll go home with that person. Okay. And I'm probably gonna make just one Bubu because it's too much work. To the little thing, that's too much work. Thank you. Wow, look at that, the heart. Oh wow. 1,300, not too bad. So you have about 3,700. Let's go. You're gonna fall asleep doing that. You need to get Lennox to do that, because I don't know if he's sleeping already, because Lennox will sit there and send heart also. I didn't see him on here, so he must be asleep already. Normally either Malix or Brendan will come on here and send all those hearts, and their mom would send me the image of them doing that. So cute. But they get online with their parents permission though, you know, when I'm online, because I don't see them regularly, but they will be able to see me on when I'm doing my live. So that's what I appreciate the social media, is that it has its downfall and it had a benefit. Okay, that depend on sushi. You have a lot of basil. I cook with a lot of basil too. Well, Cambodian use a lot of basil in their cooking. Yeah, those are the fragrance and the use for it is wonderful. Yes, we use basil in a lot of our cooking. Same thing for your cooking too, huh? And so I was saying that social media has its own benefit. It depends on who's using it and who's abusing it. If you use it in a good way, and then you have a joy of doing it. If you use it into abusive way, then the outcome will be negative, or will be bad. But I use social media to connect with the world in a positive content, like I'm doing here. You know, this is a positive content. I know I don't have those weird cooking where I have millions of views. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to put the snake in the pot and stir and make soup out of it. There's no snake over here. And there's no tangerine over here. There's no mice or mouse or lizard over here. Although there's a lizard out there, but I'm not going to go catch lizard because I want a content. No. I rescued lizard from drowning. I did that a few times. You know, I mean, I rescued spiders and escorted out the house, you know, and yeah, and in fact I had grubs that I dug out from the parts of my plants, because grubs are the baby of beetles, and in order for it to form into the beetle, they have to eat. So I put a lot of feeding for my earthworms, because I used to have thousands of earthworms in the container, but for some reason the earthworm had, I don't know whether the grub ate the earthworm or not, because when I checked a few days ago, I found about 30 grubs. The baby, like they were fat and like big and like that. They're big beetle babies. So so I Google it. It said, yeah, those things eat the roots of the plant. I know my plant wasn't doing good at all in that pot. Even I trim it, it's still not doing well. So when I dug up the dirt and I saw like 30 grubs, I remove it, and so I didn't kill it. Okay, I removed the grubs and put it into a new container. I put some leftover fruit, the 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 scrubs, and leave it there. Today I check it. They came up from, well, I put dirt and I water it and make it like they were in the planter. Let's provide them the same environment, because I don't want to kill it. I don't want to create karma with those grubs. And I don't know, in some country they will eat the grubs. I'm not chimpanzee, I'm not anteater, so I can't eat those things. Though they look good though. If you eat grubs, let me know. I'll send it to you. but but no, I don't have the heart to kill it. I remove it from my plant and give them a new home. There's no trees, so I know that if they don't have anything to feed on, they will eat they will eat the root of the plant, and that's not a good thing, right? That's why if you see your plant just die or wither for no reason, you give food, you give water, you give fertilizer, but it's still dead. I think that's what happened to my peach tree back there too. But I didn't investigate into it, because when I came home from a long trip to Cambodia and Thailand, I came home, my the peach tree died. I should have already harvested this time of the year, but it's gone. My daughter said, I'm sorry, Mom, I couldn't keep tree alive while you're gone because we didn't water it. So, yeah, I know that story. Been there and done that. So we lost the peach tree. It used to give hundreds of fruits. Now, gone. So then I'm going to do study on this grub too, and I don't know how old they are, because I had no learning about them. I have no knowledge. So I will have to Google and find out when they're going to turn into beetles, what kind of nutrient they need. I know that they feast on, my mom said that grub eat worms. That's why all the worm, remember some of my videos that I took with hundreds of worms, earthworm eating the scrub from the melons. Okay, the same pot that I house 100 or even 1,000 earthworms are gone. Okay. Hold on. Oh, my bad. Oh, how do I do that? Oh. And then I went to check on another planter. So I saw there are more earthworm had migrated from the one that infests with grubs. So I have two pots close together. Okay, so I have the same plants, the kaffir lamb leaf plants. I trim it down to the bare minimal. So I saw some new leaf, new growth out of it. So then when I gently dig into the ground on the next pot, so I see a lot of earthworm, and I think they migrated from the one infested with grubs into the one without the grub. I think they travel now, because the planter had a little hole on the bottom, and because my planter had sunk into the earth, because it was heavy, and I buried it like about 6 inches off the ground, my pot, because I didn't remove my plant from the pot. So what I did was that I didn't remove it from the pot because I did that to the other plant. It didn't do well, so I kept it on the planter, on the pot, to see whether it's going to do any good. It didn't do any good, so now I found out that it's infested with grub. Maybe that's what happened to the last few years too. And so when I Google, it said it was the baby beetle, so I have to find out what kind of beetle it is. Okay, so I didn't know the baby beetles live in the ground, under the ground. Okay, so now I know. So my mom said that those, well, my mom experienced, because she's a farmer, she said that the grub baby will feast on earthworm too. I'm like, oh dang, maybe that's what happened to my earthworm. They were missing. But then I found a whole bunch in the other pots. So I'm like, okay, so I keep feeding them there on the new pot. Yeah, see how to bang. Okay, so I have 1700 heart, which is good. It's better than 0 minutes ago, until my my sweetheart came in here and support me with that, and I appreciate that. Say hi to all of you, and for those who newcomer, I was just like finishing up the accessory for my La Bubu. We named her La NuNu because my sweetheart thought that she was cute. So he gave her a name and said, build her, make her accessory with bell-bottom pants. So that's what I have here. Okay, so she's gonna go home with my lucky contestant. Not lucky contestant, my lucky followers. Okay, so just to be the lucky winner, so show me some kind of evidence that you've been supporting my channel. So if you can hop over to YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment, and not during the live streaming, because once I get off live, all the other comment would be taken off. So just go to the real time videos and leave me the comment. Say, hey, I follow you from TikTok, and subscribe to my subscribe to your channel, and I share your channels with family and friends, and support me in that fashions. And I never know who like La Lulu or no La Bubu. And this is not just ordinary La Bubu, okay? This is like handmade, American made product, okay? Crochet product. It's sophisticated. It may not look exactly, but symbolically, okay, friendly. I'm not done with it yet. I'm still making the top and the feet cover and the bracelet. I think I'm gonna coordinate with green color. Give her that energy of the lucky energy, the money colors and the plant color, the earth replenish color, okay, green. Money come, luck come, replenish, and bountiful comes, good energy come, love energy come, green. Okay. All right. So I've been here long enough. I appreciate all the support. Before I leave, please help. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe, like, and thumb up for YouTube. And if you have not already, jump over to YouTube channels. If you can subscribe, if you have account. I know that a lot of people don't have YouTube account, so they can't subscribe. The only time that explains why about 90% of people who tune in into my channel never subscribe. So I understand that, especially people from Cambodia, Thailand, those who are not computer savvy, so they don't know how to sign up an account. But they watch the show, they watch our show, but they don't have the ability to subscribe. So I understand that, because when I went to Thailand and Cambodia, a lot of my families don't know how to use YouTube account. They can tune into YouTube, but they can't subscribe. They can't do any other things like the YouTube account holder do. Okay. So anyway, so I've been here long enough. I appreciate the time for tuning in, and I'll come back on here tomorrow. I think I have scheduled to make chow mein tomorrow, and I have all the recipe and all the ingredient I need. All I need to do is get up and put on some beautiful makeup so I can cook, right? So yeah, so it's great to see all of you, and let's come together, stand for justice for Cambodia, and if you want to share your content and give your voice of that need to be heard and need to deliver to the world, and the justice need to be done, though the treaty signs is not honored by the neighboring countries, and Cambodia is do its best to behave itself and not to launch, not to respond into their evoke into trying to get the war going. Okay, so let your voice be their voice, and because a lot of Khmer people they don't have access to internet, they don't have access to voice their voice. For those who do, the channel gets shut off because the opposition don't want anybody to hear anything bad about the countries. They just want you to hear the narrative. They just hear your their propagandas, which are propaganda, false narrative, and to deceive the world and make up false accusations and all that. So you need to learn the truth and stand for the truth. Like I do, I don't take side, but I I'm not biased because those two countries, believe me, it hurt here because I'm related to both countries. So it's hard for me to even come over here and share about it. And that's why I remained silent as long as I could. Not that I'm worried about getting shut down or worried about losing my viewers and my follower. I'm not worried any of that. I have plenty of American viewers. I don't even need viewer from that country. Okay, I don't. I have enough viewer from Turkey, from Czechoslovakia, from Russia, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, name it, Hong Kong, Taiwan. I haven't seen from North or South Korea because the limit to the world access to social media is limited because of their um, governmental control. But other than that, I don't need neither the country to follow me or my followers or for support. But it's good to have people from my countries, both countries, to come on and have access to my cooking shows and any kind of content. Okay, if there's a limit, if someone already like put a stop to where I can no longer have access to allow my content to spread through that region, I'm cool with that. It does not hurt me in any way at all because my channels are not limited to just those two countries. My channels would be aired in like 250 countries. So if one or two country that does not already support my show, it does not hurt me. I feel bad though because it shouldn't end up like that. You know, it shouldn't be no discriminatory or anything like that. Anyway, my hold on please. My anyway, my not running out of time. I'm just running out of batteries. I just want to say once again, thank you for being a great patriot and a great support. And that's what I do. Okay, I cook. When I do cook, I don't have time to to dialogue to talk to you when I'm cooking. I'm concentrating on cooking, the safety and the health and the hazardness, and make sure that my cookings are clean to serve my family, and that I'm not cutting myself, I'm not burning myself, I'm not burning the house. So that's why it's hard for me to interact with you when I cook. So then this is the time that I'm coming on just to have the dialogue with you, just to be connected with you, to appreciate you, to let you know that I appreciate your support and your following me make a big difference and allow my content to be heard, allow my channel to grow. And I appreciate all the bit of help and the heart that you sent today. Bong, appreciate that. I love you for that. And both channels and YouTube and TikTok. I like to do the dual uh, broadcast because it allowed me to fulfill the need for my YouTube channel algorithm. Same thing for TikTok. Okay, I'm not benefit from neither channels, but I'm building it so hopefully that I will be able to reach that goal soon. So that depending on your support and your kind patriot and following me on both channels is such a great gesture. All right, I'll leave you be. Appreciate all the time, and good night where you at, and good morning if you are from the other side of the meridian in time. Okay, I know that in Cambodia or in Thailand it will be around noon time, and in some country I'm not sure it's the morning, but if you do, good morning and good evening, good afternoon to all of you. Until tomorrow, we have great recipe to share with you. Make sure that you come back and tune on. Put up around, I'll try to go around 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and it may be conflict for other things, but it's the best time where I'm allowed to do when the kids is not here to bomb my show or the distractions and stuff like that. The kids in school now, but I want to do in between where they are not in school, because you know that when the kids come home, they cause all kind of distraction. You know, it's not that I don't like, not that I mind having them. I do, but then sometimes they be acting silly, you know, and I don't know how you feel about that. You say, oh, Vanna, your grandkid are out of control. Vanna, your grandkid no manner. You know, the kid just want to be kid. Doesn't matter how many times you're trying to get them in check. You know, where I said, please don't do that, and I pull them on the side and on occasion and said, can you not do that, please? You know, and I got one child that he does not learn very well. You know, he always like to challenge. He always like to come on and act his. It's not bad, you know. Sometimes I put him on and just have him be kid, you know. I like that, but sometimes when he come unexpectedly and I didn't see that until I reviewed the video. He was on the back of me, you know, doing like a funny face and you know and like sliding down and like. And when I reviewed my video, I didn't see that because he was on the back of me. So when I reviewed the video, I said, oh, when did that happen? You know, sometimes it was like he making funny face, funny jest, and all that. And when I review it, it's like, oh, no one mentioned anything about that, so it must be okay. But it's not okay sometimes for me when my grandkid acts funny like that. It's disrespectful to some of you too. Some of you don't like kids. You will say, Anna, grandkids are out of control, you know, or they have no manner. You know, I agree to the certain extent. I discipline too when the parents are not around, when they're under my care, I discipline them. I put them time out. I don't hit, I don't slap, I don't punch. But I do positive parenting. Okay, I'm a modern grandma who I do positive parenting. I don't believe in corporal punishment. I don't believe in all that affliction in pains, and it does not change a human behavior by doing those things. But if you found that my grandkid peek behind my back and do all the funny faces and funny movement, I'm sorry about that, okay? But if you don't mind, I'm cool with that. If you mind about it, I'm sorry, you know, because grandkids, they know better, okay? Sometimes I include them in my cooking and allow them to cook with me. Or there's a time that they just want to pop in nowhere and you know and lurking around and making funny faces. And only one person that does that, but I'm working on correcting his behavior. So anyway, all right. So I'm leaving for now until we reconvene tomorrow. Okay. Like I said, good night, good morning, good afternoon, where you at. A lot of love, a lot of respect to all of you, and I shall see you again soon. So long.